What's up, everybody? I'm Hassan Hajavani, Director of Digital Media for Warchant.com, the ultimate Seminoles sports source. That's Michael Langston, recruiting analyst for aforementioned website. The grind don't stop, y'all. Where's Michael, you ask? I don't even know. Michael's out there grinding away. He's trying to be a family man, but he's also on the clock as well. What's up,
Yeah,
Michael?
I'm good, man. I'm at my family's house. We're gonna go see some family, chill out for a little while. But hey, let's hotboard it, man. Let's get some defensive ends. FSU's rolling. Great class already. So let's get into it.
All right, man. That's right. They already got 3 guys committed. Boots Green, Lamont Green Jr., Jaden Jones out of Alabama, and then most recently, Keldric Faulk out of Alabama. So what do you like about those guys, and how many more guys do they want to add, you think, Michael?
Yeah, I think they want 4. They got 3 already. I think the one that jumps out to you already, definitely is Keldric Faulk, number 53 player in the country. I think he's got a really good shot at being a 5-star going forward throughout the year. If you're looking for a guy that's similar to kind of the stuff that Jermaine Johnson did, I'm not saying he's Jermaine Johnson. I'm saying he does similar things to kind of what he does. He's explosive with his hands. He's really powerful. And he's really tough to double team and block. So I think he's a guy that there's a lot of solid ones in there, but he's the one that certainly jumps out to me. Then you also have Lamont Green Jr., Boots as the nickname. Obviously a legacy recruit with his dad playing at FSU. Lamont Green Sr. I think both of these kids, in Faulk and Green, are both top 100 kids. I love what they do. I love the way he's kind of different, where he's more of a really edge type, kind of Jared Verse type, where he gets off the line really fast, really quick off the ball. I think Lamont's a top 100 player. So I think both of those guys are a premier, and they're different. And that's what I like about them. They're kind of different in how they attack you. And then the last one is Jaden Jones, JUCO kid, I think from Hutchinson, if I'm not mistaken. But really blew up in the scene for FSU. They went to see him a few times. They really loved everything they saw. 6'6", 240. I can attest he is that, because I saw him in person a few times already. And I think he's just a guy they fell in love with when they went to watch him work out and do some things. Probably the guy that's kind of the wild card of, what he's going to be or where he's going to be ranked, as far as on the board, for me. But I think he's a guy that they loved the way his takeoff was. That's what they really just jumped out to them. He developed a lot with his hands. His hands got a lot more violent. His footwork got quicker. So I think that's a guy that they were extremely intrigued by. And it kind of sets up good if you look at it, 2 elite guys, and then another one in Jaden Jones that could be ready to kind of help you, and you can kind of develop. So I think it's a good combination with those 3 commitments already.
All right, then let's make this a hot board, though. Who else is out there that Florida State needs to keep an eye on, man?
Yeah, I think Wilky Denaud for me Wilky Denaud is a really solid prospect. I think FSU is really high on his list. I would say FSU is probably the leader at this point. I think they sit in a pretty good spot there from everything I've gathered. He's kind of taken his time a little bit, but official visits, I think definitely FSU is going to be one. He's another one that's kind of in that mold of what Lamont Green does, really fast and quick off the ball. I like we saw him in person, for one of the camps at FSU, and you can kind of see that quickness, the way he gets off the ball. He's not quite as long as Lamont, but certainly his quickness, jumps out to you. He's a guy that I think is probably their best case to add that 4th guy. He's likely to be that 4th guy. If they add a 4th guy, he would be the guy for me. I just think he fits everything they want. The relationship is deep. He's been to FSU more times than any place. He said previously FSU is his leader, and I just think everything just connects, with FSU when you look at it. And I think it's just the continued pursuit of FSU making him a priority. As long as that continues, it's hard for me to see him not being in this class.
Look at that, 67th overall prospect here in the state of Florida. It's my neck of the woods, Fort Pierce. I was born there.
There you go.
I haven't been there in 40 years almost, though, so I need to maybe go check it out. Staying in the state of Florida, I think that's a really important thing for Florida State. Obviously, Mike Norvell to kind of, build the fence and all that sort of stuff. But Ruben Bain's a guy that they'd have to go pluck away from Miami. Is he a guy that is still on your hot board? We haven't spoke about him in a few weeks, it feels like.
Yeah, he's on my hot board. It's just I think there's work to do. I think he'll likely officially visit FSU. He loves Odell. There's a long-time connection with Odell, and just other coaches on the staff. I just think like Miami's kind of the team that's always I hear the vibe around. Alabama's up there too. I think those three teams are the teams that are focused. I think right now, if I had to hold a gun to my head, I'd probably pick Miami. But I think he's the guy that's been to FSU like 3 or 4 times, so you can't ignore him. I mean, that's Miami to FSU or to Tallahassee is not a short trip. So to continually go to FSU, is going to officially visit FSU. You definitely have to keep FSU very much in the radar. But as far as the likelihood, I like Denaud better than Bain getting into this class. But tremendous prospect. He's kind of a mixture of a defensive, strong side defensive end and also a guy that's really elite pass rusher. I mean, he gets after the quarterback. We also know how FSU does at Miami Central. That's where he plays. Obviously, you got Daughtry Richardson, several guys that have already come from Miami Central. So that's a plus, and that's why you got to keep him in the fold with this stuff. So it could still possibly happen. So you got to keep that in there. But just I saw out of the prospects, I would prefer Bain. I just think he's a little bit higher as far as just the things he can do, the versatility he brings. So if you're asking me which prospect I would want, I'd probably say Bain, but I think both of them are good ones.
All right, so what would you think then overall about this class? If they hold on to these 3 guys, Keldric, Faulk, Lamont Green, Jaden Jones, and then they add a Denaud or a Bain in terms of meeting needs, I mean, how would you grade that out?
Yeah, I think you got to give Coach JP an A as far as what they've done. I mean, that's 2 top 100 type guys I've already mentioned. And if the Jaden Jones one keeps going like we think it is as far as in a positive way, I think you have to give them an A just on base. Now, if they get another top guy, you have to put it up there as an A plus or close to A minus or whatever. Either way, it's an A. So I think John's done a great job. John's kind of a guy that we don't talk about on the recruiting front, but anytime you get 2 elite dudes like that, you're doing something on the recruiting front. And I think the way he recruits kids is really just, it resonates with a lot of these guys. Just, it's more personal than it is just always football stuff all the time. And, Keldric Faulk talked a lot about that. It's like just the connection is he has an ability to resonate with kids. And I think it's definitely working on the recruiting trail.
All righty then. There we go, everybody. Hot board, possibly grading the class. Scrunched in between, hanging out with the family. Grind don't stop for Michael Langston. Hit the thumbs up on the way out. I think Michael deserved it. Also subscribe to our app. It's on the App Store, Android Play as well. So check that out, as well as the full rundown, more prospects on the hot board for our subscribers at warchant.com. Michael, thanks, man.
Thank you, buddy.